What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. We're going to do a little something different this afternoon, talking some Phillies, but this is more going to be a, hangout stream, so whenever people decide to join the chat and all that stuff, if people even do. So it doesn't really matter to me in that instance, but this is more just going to be a hangout thing, see people joining throughout the thing, discuss some Phillies, discuss the recent signings. That's what I'll probably do more before we officially, just hang out and all that crap. But yeah, the Phillies made some signings, and we're still waiting on, for some more big fishes to land. We got that huge trade in MLB with the A's and the Braves, with Matt Olson going to Atlanta for a lot of pieces going in return to the Athletics. So that's a lot of huge things happening there. There's still a lot of things that have to happen. Freddie Freeman now with that trade with the Braves. That basically describes Freddie Freeman is not going back to Atlanta, and he's going out of the NL East, which is huge for the Phillies' purposes and the rest of the NL East. And then you also still got guys on the market. You still got Schwarber. You still got Castellanos. You still got Chris Bryant. All of those guys are still out there. You still got Trevor Story, technically, if the Phillies are in on him, which I don't think they are to the fullest, but, they're probably going to, move around the bush with all that. So I trust Dave Dombrowski. He's a smart man. He's going to be involved in all this stuff. So I think Phillies fans are a little panicky just because of all the other moves, and I can definitely understand why people are a little bit frustrated with some of the moves that the Phillies have made, just because, it's kind of not the best, but also at the end of the day, Dave Dombrowski, I trust with what he is doing, and he has been honest to the fullest. And yeah, the Phillies are going to make signings, so I'm not worried about that entirely. It's just when I feel like people are just a little bit on edge just because they haven't done anything yet. But relax a little bit. These big fishes are still out in the market, and I think that's all that matters right now. The Phillies are going to land at least one of these big names. So that's what I'm going to be expecting, and we just are going to have to wait and see, because we're getting closer to the start of officially of the games of spring training, since spring training, like workouts and all that, and training and all that stuff has begun since yesterday. So I think you're going to see a lot more bigger signings happening as we get closer towards the games being played. So I think, because there's still many big names on this market, so it's going to take a little bit, because you're waiting for some of these maybe some of these guys are waiting for another person to sign so they can set the market, so they can argue what they want to make. So it's a long process right here. It's a long game of chess between people that are trying to sign and the people that are trying to sign those players. So we got a little bit of a process going on here, but it's going to take some time. But Phillies fans, I do believe at the end of the day, need to relax a little bit. Something is going to happen. I know people are a little bit antsy, but hey, Phillies fans, they want something to happen, and I can't blame them for that scenario. So before we get into everything and discussing it more, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. If you are new to the channel, I definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button if you have not already. So if you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at. And also, if you are a current subscriber, I am a current subscriber. I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for any tickets, upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to an upcoming, we got the Sixers tonight. If you want to try to get some there, go see James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. Definitely try that. If you want to, go to spring training, go to opening day for the Phillies, you got some tickets there. Can't deny that. Also, if you want to put yourself through a Flyers game, maybe go see Claude Drew's 1,000th game on Thursday. There you go. And then when football comes back, also that. So basically a free $20 in your pocket. Use that for a beverage. Use that for a food item at the arena. Can't pass that up, so use the code TTP Sports now for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So the Phillies have made quite a few signings. More, I would say, minor, but some, I guess you can say, are in terms of move for the bullpen. So you get the couple of bullpen moves. So you get the Brad Hand signing that happened this morning. He's making, 1 year, $6 million. You got the Familia signing a couple of days ago. He's also 1 year, $6 million. So the background history with Familia, I completely understand. I don't love his background history at all. And also, the past couple of years for Familia as well have not been pretty stat-wise in baseball. So it's not the best signing in the world, and I'm not the biggest fan of $6 million for it, but still, at the end of the day, it's 1 year, and Dave Dombrowski is trying to bolster up that bullpen. Brad Hand, definitely, he was kind of ugly last year, very, very ugly. Hopefully that season is more of an outlier than previous, because he is a well-respected pitcher in this league. Just hopefully he's not on the major decline, and the Phillies didn't make a major mistake in that aspect. But Dave Dombrowski is trying to bolster the bullpen, and I believe in what he is trying to do. And for one of the other signings, I think right now, we really haven't seen, any official, number-wise for this signing, but it's been rumored, the past couple of days that the Phillies are bringing back Odubel Herrera. I think the signing is 1 year, 6 million, around that range between 4 to 6. I don't think we've officially seen the price tag for it. Even though I'm nowhere close to the biggest Odubel fan in the world, I hate his background history, what he has done in his personal life. I think he's a terrible human being. And just overall, as a baseball player, he's not the best baseball player in the world. But you heard from Dave Dombrowski's press conference that they're planning on doing a platoon situation in center field. So most likely this is going to be a situation where you're going to be using Matt Vierling and Odubel Herrera in center field for the foreseeable future. Even though I kind of feel like just starting Matt Vierling in center field is probably better than signing Odubel Herrera. We're actually doing nothing and starting Matt Vierling in center field might be better than signing Odubel Herrera just because of everything right there. But at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest fan of Odubel, and that's basically where I'm going to stay on that scenario. But right now, there's still bigger fish on the market, and the Phillies need to, sign one of these guys. I think right now, with the luxury tax at $230 million right now, and I think the Phillies, with these signings that they made, they are $30 million above the tax threshold. I believe at least $30 million. So they're going to have at least room for at least one big name, or they're going to do one big name guy and get one good guy for the bench, maybe like another Brad Miller type of guy. But who knows with Dave Dombrowski? Who knows if John Middleton's given him the okay to go over the luxury tax threshold and everything there? There's still these big fishes, like I said, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, Chris Bryant, Trevor Story, all these other guys. There's still more bullpen pieces out there. Maybe Dave Dombrowski. I'm sure Dave Dombrowski has kicked around the block with a lot of these guys. And yeah, so I still trust in him. I still believe in what he's trying to do. You got to handle right now. A lot of these moves are still in retrospect because of the past regime with the Phillies, with Matt Klentak, with Andy McPhail, and the poor drafting that they have done. So, like right now with the entire situation in center field, that's a result of, guys like Adam Hazley, even though everything that he went through last year. You got guys like Mickey Moniak not, really stepping up and trying to take that position in center field. Granted, I know also Joe Girardi really didn't give these guys that much of a chance. But at the end of the day, they didn't really wow anybody to take that center field spot. So this is one of those predicaments that you're in because of guys like McPhail and Klentak and their horrible drafting and development. And that is also another reason why Dave Dombrowski is trying to, replenish the farm system and do everything there. I know there was also the rumor about there that the Phillies and the A's were trying to make a trade for Chapman, and the A's were not going to trade Chapman to the Phillies unless one of their top prospects was involved, i.e. being a Bryson Stott, a Mick Abel, or an Andrew Painter, and the Phillies have been reluctant on that scenario. So I'm not sure if Dave Dombrowski is still pushing ties with the Oakland Athletics because it does sound like they're going through a little bit of a fire sale right now, hence with Bassett going to the Mets, hence with Matt Olson going to the Braves. So there's a lot of moves still to be made in this MLB world. So it's going to be an exciting time right now. And it's funny, as I'm scrolling through Twitter, it's the Eagles just made their big signing with Hassan Reddick. So that's going to be a great signing for the Eagles. That's a really great signing, one of the best pass rushers in the league. So it's funny, I see some people like, oh, a Philadelphia team actually made a move in free agency. Wow, we did not expect that. Kind of, I guess, throwing a little bit of shade at the Phillies right there. But still, I believe some fans are a little bit, overzealous. And like, yes, you're getting antsy because you want the Phillies to make this signing. You want them to get better right now. But at the end of the day, trust Dave Dombrowski. I would say step back, relax. Something is going to happen. We just have to wait for the market to set. And I do think this Matt Olson signing, or not trade, actually, not signing, I think it is going to spark a little bit right now with the free agency market, since now Freddie Freeman isn't going back to Atlanta. Freddie Freeman most likely is either going to the Dodgers or going to the New York Yankees. So once he signs, and I think we probably are going to get a Freddie Freeman signing tonight, hopefully. And I think if he signs, that's going to set the market. Maybe you'll see some of these other big fish start to sign too. Maybe you'll eventually see the Bryant sign. Maybe you'll eventually see the Castiano sign. Maybe you'll eventually see the Kyle Schwarber signing. So there's a lot of things that still have to happen. So we just got to wait and see what happens there. So I see some people are here in the live chat. I want to get your thoughts right now on just, are you confident in Dave Dombrowski right now? Do you think that there's going to be, a big fish signing? And who do you think that's most likely going to be? Because if I'm looking at this right now, I think what's most likely going to happen, I think Nick Castellanos might be probably the one that's most likely going to be signed in Philadelphia just because he has those connections with Dave Dombrowski, because Dave Dombrowski drafted him in Detroit. So there's big connections right there. And yeah, you do have, some of the connections with Kyle Schwarber in the hitting coach that the Phillies have right now, because the Phillies hired the hitting coach from the Washington Nationals. And Kyle Schwarber last year had a career year starting with the Nationals and then eventually going to the Boston Red Sox at the trade deadline. So there is connections there as well. With Chris Bryant, too, you got the connections with guys like Bryce Harper being his best friend, the connection from Las Vegas, and also you got somewhat of the connection with Bryson Stott since he's also a Las Vegas boy. So there's connections for the Phillies in this free agent market. So that's why I still believe they're going to land one of these big fishes. If not, at most, they're going to land two. But I think right now they're probably going to land one and then make another signing for either the bench or the bullpen. That's what I'm expecting is going to happen. If they sign two of these guys, I will be ecstatic. I will be very excited for that. But right now, I think the one move that does benefit the Phillies more, because there are still holes right now that this team needs to fill. Right now, center field is the big hole, but right now it sounds like they're going for that platoon situation with Herrera and Bierling. Left field is the biggest hole. You don't have Andrew McCutchen. He just signed with the Brewers today, so he's gone. You don't have him on the team anymore, so you got a big hole in left field. You do have a hole in the infield a little bit, because are you going to put Alec Bohm at third base every day? Are you going to trust him with his bad defense to be your everyday third baseman? I know Joe Girardi also said something about Didi Gregorius having to be prepared to switch different positions or play different positions throughout the season. So are we going to see a little bit of Didi Gregorius at third base, maybe second base? Does that mean Bryson Stott's going to, win a job and be the shortstop for the Phillies? And second base, that's locked up for Gene Segura. First base, that's Rhys Hoskins. And right now with the DH and everything coming into the National League, they're going to platoon the DH. There's not going to be one set DH. There's not going to be that one single guy that is going to be in the DH role. The Flyers, not the Flyers. I don't know why I'm thinking about the Flyers. The Phillies, the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team, that's what I mean. They have a lot of interchangeable pieces that can be in the DH role. Bryce Harper, when he needs a day off from the field, he could be the DH. Rhys Hoskins, when he needs a day off from first base, he can still be in the lineup and bat DH. JT Realmuto, when he needs a day off from catcher, he could be a DH. Or same thing with Rhys Hoskins. When he needs that DH spot and a day off from first base, you can put JT Realmuto at first base when he needs a day off from the catching position. And you could put a guy like a Rafael Marchand at the catching position for that game. You can also slide in Alec Bohm when he needs a day off from third base. You could possibly slide in a Didi Gregorius when he needs a day off from the field. Everyone here is very interchangeable. So that's what I see is going to happen, and that's what sounds like is going to happen with the DH position for this Phillies team. They're not going to have that traditional, it's one guy that can't play the field, and he's mainly there for just hitting, and he's mainly going to be that power. But the Phillies were not going to go after a guy like a Nelson Cruz, who is solely a DH. That was never going to happen. I still find it weird that Nelson Cruz signed with the Nationals. I find that really weird, but I guess at that point, he's going to be one of the bigger pieces at the trade deadline, so you never know what's going to happen in that scenario. But still, I find that very weird that it happened, but I guess at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. So I'm still constantly scrolling through Twitter just to see if there are any updates with, the free agency market right now, because nothing has really happened since the Matt Olson trade. So right now, that was the biggest thing that's happened so far. And looking what the Braves got, not the Braves, the Athletics got in return for Matt Olson. It was a big haul from the Atlanta Braves. They got Christian Pache, who was their top prospect. You got Langoliers. You got Ryan, Cusick. You got Joey Estes, and that's a massive haul for Matt Olson, it looks like. So it's their top outfielding prospect, a top catching prospect, and two pitching prospects. So that's a really good haul for the Athletics. That is. Sorry, choked up a little bit right there, but so I guess I need some water. But still, looking at the available free agents right now, there's still a lot of time here for this Phillies team. So don't panic right now. And you still got guys like Carlos Correa that is still on the market, and who knows how long it's going to take for him to sign. So there's a lot of things for this Phillies team that they can do. And right now, even going back to what I believe is the most likely outcome for this Phillies team, or who I want the most probably, I think I want Nick Castellanos more. Because of the way how electric his bat is. I know he is a terrible fielder in left field. I get that in hell. So you're basically just giving yourself another issue with defense. But Nick Castellanos' bat makes up for his lack of defense. And if I go to Nick Castellanos' stats over, his tenure in the major league. So if I go to baseball references, just look at his stats from the previous years. So if I go to last year with the Cincinnati Reds, he batted 309. He had 34 home runs, 100 RBIs. He is a doubles machine. He had 38 doubles. I know in the shortened 60-game season, he didn't bat that good. He had a really sluggish year. He batted 225, 14 home runs, 34 RBIs. But I think that's more of an outlier. And also, granted, it was a very shortened season. And then you get Nick Castellanos over the course of his career, going even back to the Detroit Tigers when he was drafted by Dave Dombrowski. His first full year in the majors, batted 259, 11 home runs, 66 RBIs. Second year with the Tigers, batted 255, 15 home runs, 73 RBIs. Third year, 285, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. Fourth year, 272, 26 home runs, 101 RBIs. Fifth year, batted 298, 23 home runs, 89 RBIs. In the year that he was traded at the trade deadline for the Tigers, his sixth season, batted 289 with 27 home runs, 73 RBIs. Then he went to the Chicago Cubs, and he batted 321, and he had 16 home runs and 36 RBIs in his stint with the Chicago Cubs. So that was a fantastic year for Nick Castellanos. So I think, like I said, I believe his bat. I believe the way how electric he can be. He's at least a 280 hitter, 290 hitter, 300 at his best. So, and he can also chuck you 25 to 30 home runs this season and get you at least 80 to 100 RBIs in his best season. So, Nick Castellanos, I believe his bat will make up for his defense. But then you also got to pick up the other fits for this Phillies team. Cory Bryant. He can basically play anywhere on the field. He can play third base. He can play first base. He's basically your ideal man to play everywhere on the field. Infield, outfield, whatever you can think of. And also, he can get you a nice, decent bat. He's basically the all-around player of this, I would say, free agency class. Really good fielder, really good outfielder. And I would say, even though his hitting stats the past couple of years haven't been the best, but I still believe that Cory Bryant could be a really good benefit for a team that is going to sign him. And I believe he could be a benefit for the Philadelphia Phillies if they were to sign him. But I know, like I said, the past couple of years, ever since he won the MVP, really haven't been the best. So if we go to Cory Bryant's first year when he won the Rookie of the Year award, he batted 275 for the Chicago Cubs, 26 home runs, 99 RBIs. Second year, 292 average, 39 home runs, 102 RBIs when he won the MVP and the Cubs won the World Series. Third year with the Cubs, 295 average, 29 home runs, 73 RBIs. In the fourth year, 272. This is really when you start to see his hitting go down a little bit. So you got the 272 average, 13 home runs, 52 RBIs. I do believe he got injured this year as well, so he didn't play every game. Then his fifth year with the Cubs, 282 average, 31 home runs, 77 RBIs. So a really good bounce back year for him. But then you get in 2020 with the shortened season, you get a 206 batting average, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, a really bad year for Cory Bryant. And then the past couple of seasons for Cory Bryant with the Cubs and the San Francisco Giants, he batted in the 260s. So in total for that season in 2021, he batted 265, 25 home runs, 73 RBIs. He was better with the Cubs. And then, his average went a little bit down with the Giants, but he was still a major help for them getting into that playoff run. So, yeah, it's going to be there's going to be some time. So you got to be patient right now, I would say. You got to be patient. And I see we got Johnny B. Good in the chat saying, saw a Reddit post earlier saying that Didi stated in his presser that he was told in the offseason he would be moved to third base. Yeah, that was something that I remember them posting about earlier today. So Didi has to be prepared to, be in a different position in the infield. So who knows what that means for Alec Bohm? Who knows what that means for Bryson Stott if he's going to be the shortstop for every day for the Phillies, if he's going to win that job. So there's many other positions that they can go through. So right now you just got to wait and see what happens with the free agent market and what the Phillies actually do to know what they are going to do with the infield this year. So that's basically what you got to wait for. Stott will be given every chance to win the shortstop job. Bowman Hoskins will be our DH and first base tandem if Didi is moving to third, if that is true. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening if that is the case. Like I said, the Phillies have a lot of interchangeable DHs throughout this lineup. Like I said, Bryce, when he needs a day off from right field, you put him in the DH role. Reese, when you need a day off from first base, DH. Home, day off, DH. JT, day off, he either goes to first base or he goes to the DH. DD, same thing, DH. Even for a Nick Castellanos, if you were to sign a Nick Castellanos, you need the day off from left field, you put him in the DH spot. So there's a lot of interchangeable pieces with this Phillies team. You got Channel Name saying, let's get Chris Bryant. Yeah, I'm for the Phillies getting any of these free agents and even going after a guy like Kyle Schwarber. I do think Kyle Schwarber is more of the boom or bust type of pick, just because of last year was basically his breakout season, basically everywhere stat wise. So if I look up Kyle Schwarber's stats from last year, because basically everything for him last year was a big breakout season. So last year with the Nationals and the Boston Red Sox, in total, this is basically his entire season. He had a 266 average, 32 home runs, 71 RBIs. But then when he went to Boston, so if you look at the splits between Washington and the Boston Red Sox, with Washington, he batted 253. He had 25 home runs, especially through that huge month that he had in, what was it, like May, June, or July, when he hit so many home runs in 1 month. So he was just basically on an electric tear right there. And then when he went to the Boston Red Sox, he batted 291, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. So his batting average went up, even though he was in a very short stint with the Red Sox. So that's expected from there. So his 2020, the shortened season with the Cubs, batted 188, 11 home runs, 24 RBIs. And in 2019 with the Cubs, batted 250, had 38 home runs and 92 RBIs. So that was more of a really breakout with the power season for Kyle Schwarber. You got the 2018 season, he batted 238, 26 home runs, 61 RBIs. And then in 2017, he batted 211 with 30 home runs and 59 RBIs. 2016, he was injured for a lot of that season. He came back during the World Series run, so there really isn't much to look at for then. Then he got his first season in the league, batted 246, 16 home runs, 43 RBIs, and 69 games played. So they're, like I said, I feel like it's more of a boom or bust, but you know what you're getting with Kyle Schwarber. He's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's going to give you a high RBI total. You just got to realize, is that batting average going to be above 250, or is it going to, is he going to, have a breakout hitting type of season where he's getting on base a lot and he gets you a batting average in between like 270 to 290, or is it going to even out to his career average, which is around like the 250s to 260s, around that range? So you're going to get the home run totals from Kyle Schwarber. So basically, you just got to wait for that scenario. And like I said, I'm for the Phillies going after any of these guys. Just get one of these guys. The fan base will be excited. Your team will be a lot better than they are. And right now, like I still think the Phillies right now, with the way the team is constructed, they're still a 82 win team at least, or at most. Right? If you make one of these signings, possibly maybe you win a couple of more games. And right now, with the expanded postseason, the Phillies are going to have a chance. We're not going to, like last year's Phillies season was more exciting than most because they took it to the final, couple of series before they got eliminated from the Atlanta Braves. So they're going to be a better team. If you look at, some of the other situations, if they didn't blow as many saves as they did last year, they probably would have been a wild card team. So I do feel like the Phillies will be better this year. Playoff wise, right now, I think you're a bubble wildcard team just because of how much competition with, everything that is going on. So, yeah, Johnny, be good in the chat. Keep up the good work. I enjoy your Flyers coverage as well. Thanks, man. Always appreciated it. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, if you're viewing this for the first time, definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. So, all the help in the world, all the love in the world, I definitely appreciate you guys joining here, chatting it up with me for everything. So Channel says, are the Braves letting Freeman go? Braves and Mets are going to be hard this season. Yes. Right now, if you saw the trade with the Oakland Athletics and the Braves get Matt Olson, and he's the first baseman. So that basically describes that Freddie Freeman's gone. So Freddie Freeman is going to be out of the NL East. So for Phillies fans, for Mets fans, for everyone, that's basically a sign of relief that you don't have to see Freddie Freeman with the Braves. So right now, it sounds like he is going to be signing with the Dodgers or the Yankees. You're just going to have to wait and see what's happening on that scenario. Man, if the Dodgers get Freddie Freeman, man, they're going to be unstoppable. They are going to be very, very unstoppable, and they are a scary team. They signed Freddie Freeman. They're kind of a World Series favorite, even though they've been a World Series favorite the past couple of years with that stacked roster. But they're even more of a World Series favorite if they land Freeman. Just saying. But yeah. Oh yeah, the Braves and Mets are definitely going to be even. Like the Braves, reigning World Series champions, even though they're losing Freddie Freeman, they still got Matt Olson, who's a very good first baseman in this league, great defensively and great with the bat. And who knows what Matt Olson is going to be doing in Citizens Bank Park? I can honestly see him annihilating the baseball into the second or the third deck, literally every series that he plays in Citizens Bank Park. So that kind of scares me. It kind of does, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The Mets, they're always right now. And everyone, it's tough with the Mets. It really is because they are a very stacked roster. They probably have one of the best rotations in the entirety of baseball. Dick DeGrom, Max Scherzer, they got Bassett, and they have all these other pitchers throughout their rotation. They have a good bullpen. They have a good lineup. They got good everything. But right now with the Mets, right now they have to get over the hump. They haven't been able to get over the hump over the past couple of years when they've been a very hyped up baseball team because they start off hot and then eventually, when you get to around that August and September, that's when they start to crumble. They did the exact same thing last year. Remember when the Phillies swept them and they took over first place? When the Mets were going on that long stretch of not being able to score runs and just not winning, the Mets were one of the worst offensive teams in baseball last year. So right now with the Mets, it's the same thing with the Phillies for me. They got to prove it to me before I believe it. Right now, and I feel like that's a lot of it for Mets fans as well. The Mets have to prove it to them before they can believe that the Mets are going to be a playoff team because they've been hyped up so much in the past so many years and they've crumbled in August and September. Same thing with the Phillies. So it's a prove it situation. You got to prove it to the fan base that you can do it. Steve Cohen, he's going out there and spending all this money. Hopefully for them, that goes into a playoff run for them. Even though as much as I hate the Mets, right now, I always hate the Mets rivalry with the Phillies, but right now, I won't see it until I won't believe it until I see it with them right now because it's the same thing every year. You get the LOL Mets and all that crap. So right now, see it until we believe it. We got a Johnny B. Good saying again, great pickup by the Braves. Olson is a fantastic pickup for Atlanta. Fantastic. And right now, I'm not sure when Acuna is expected back. He's most likely going to play this season, but I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for opening day. But when you got a healthy Ronald Acuna, you still got Albies in that lineup. You still got a stacked lineup for the Atlanta Braves. You still got Dansby Swanson now adding Matt Olson to that lineup. It's going to be deadly. It's going to be very, very deadly. And they still got a very young, experienced pitching staff. And like I said, they are the reigning world champions for a reason. They're going to be deadly. They're going to be very, very deadly. My goodness. So here we go. Oh, wow. The Odubel Herrera contract is actually very cheap from right here. Let me see. Interesting. It's a very cheap contract. For some reason, I heard that it was going to be around 6 mil. Odubel's contract is very cheap. I just see the report right here from Matt Gelb. He says when finalized, Odubel Herrera's contract with the Phillies will be for $1.75 million with a $750 in incentive bonuses. One, I don't know why he deserves any bonuses in general, but it's still a very cheap contract. Very, 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 very cheap. So I want to see the reaction to that right here. I just because I didn't know what group chat that I'm in. But for some reason, I was hearing that it was going to be around 6 mil, 4 to 6 mil. But this is very cheap, very, very cheap. Even though I'm still like it's still like honestly, it doesn't excuse that re-signing of Odubel Herrera in general, but still, it's a very cheap contract to have, very cheap. So honestly, right now the Phillies, I think with this signing now, the Phillies were around the 30 mil threshold, or around like above 30 million from this luxury tax threshold. So with this signing, it's probably still, I think they were around like, between 30 and 35. So they're still probably going to be in that range. So they still have enough, to at least sign one of these big guys. If they sign two of the big guys, like I would be ecstatic. But still, I didn't expect the contract to be that cheap. And honestly, I did not expect that whatsoever. So yeah, that's even though not the biggest fan of Odubel, it's a very cheap contract. Very, very cheap. And I'm going to play some of the music in the live stream right now, just, continue the Hangout stream. We're going to go for a little bit right here, even though we got the, we got some time before the Sixers game tonight. Just chill and hang out to see what happens with, the baseball world, just to see if there's any other, continuings with signings. But hey, It's all a game right here. It's all a chess match between the guys that are looking to sign, the agents, and the teams that are trying to sign these guys. So it's basically a waiting game right now. And if I'm looking at this Phillies roster right now, even though, like, right now, what was their lineup? I have to see what their lineup was last year, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. So if I look to the 2021 Phillies lineup, because I know the lineup changed over like every game. They never really had a consistent lineup. So here we go. This is the projected lineup for the Phillies this year. So this is still without the signings and everything like that. So here we go. So we got a projected lineup for the Phillies right now without any signings made. Or right now with the Herrera signing, it looks like it's going to be Jean Segura as your leadoff guy at second base, Rhys Hoskins your number 2-hole hitter at first, Bryce Harper in the outfield in your 3-hole, JT the cleanup guy. I'm not a fan of that, even though that's not probably going to happen. Didi Gregorius right now at shortstop in the 5-hole, Alec Bohm in the third base in the 6-hole, 7-hole Odubel Herrera, Matt Vierling for some reason is the DH, and Adam Hazley is the starting outfielder. Yeah, that is not going to be the opening day starting lineup for the Phillies. That is nowhere close going to be that opening day starting lineup. So yeah, right now, it's not going to be that. It is not going to be anywhere close to that. But I want to see what their lineup was last year. I'm trying to see that. So that was the 40-man roster. I'm trying to see what was their lineup last year. So, okay, this was opening day last year. So we got Kutch in the leadoff spot, Jean Segura 2-hole, Bryce Harper 3, Rhys Hoskins 4, JT 5, Odubel Herrera 6, Cesar. Wait, this is freaking. When was this? This is 2019. This is 2019. I see Cesar Hernandez. What the hell? I'm looking for freaking. Where is the 2021? That's the opening day, Ross. Where's the lineup at? Where is the goddamn lineup? That was the 2020 season, the shortened one. Jesus, where is it at? Where is it at? There we go. This is actually this year. Okay. Not going crazy right here. So, like, I know, like, right now, even with the questions, what signings are the Phillies going to make, who is going to be their leadoff guy, that's still going to be a question mark if, like, they do sign a guy like a Castellanos. But if they were to sign a guy like a Chris Bryant, maybe you could throw him in the leadoff position. Do you put a Jean Segura in the leadoff position? Who knows? Do you attempt, if Bryson Stott makes the opening day lineup, do you put him in leadoff? Do you put a guy like Alec Bohm in the leadoff position? Who knows? So what the lineup looked like last year, this was during June of last year. Herrera, the leadoff spot, Segura 2-hole, JT 3-hole, Bryce was the cleanup guy. Rhys Hoskins was at first base before he got injured. McCutchen in left field in 6, Bohm 7, Torres at shortstop at 8, and then Velasquez, Vinny Vilo. Every time I see Vinny Vilo's name, I want to throw up. And hey, we don't have to deal with Vinny Velasquez anymore since he's going to be with the Chicago White Sox. That was one thing, thankfully, that the Phillies did not do. Bring back Vince Velasquez. Thank God that wasn't the thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. My God, my God, my God, with the Philadelphia Phillies. But still, it's weird. I'm trying to think that, yeah, right now, you're going to get some, like, I don't think people have reacted to the Odubel sign yet, or the official price tag, so that's what I'm trying to think. It's funny, like, as you're looking throughout the news yesterday, and then you see Tom Brady come back, and it was just like, wow, that lasted for 2 seconds with his retirement. Then, still, like, yeah, that's like the Odubel Herrera signing. Granted, he's a terrible human being, and I hate his guts. But right now, that contract, it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. So that's one thing right there. So right now, I think people still need to relax and just see what is going to happen. I'm just trying to see right now with, the free agent tracker right now. I'm trying to look at the rest of, like, I wish there was like a better tracker out there that could just see what happened. And then you get the huge trade yesterday with the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins. The Twins aren't messing around. They are not. Like, they got Sonny Gray yesterday. Even though Gary Sanchez isn't the best thing, they unloaded the Josh Donaldson contract. They're looking to buy. They're looking to spend. So I wouldn't be shocked if, like, the Twins were involved in some of these talks with free agency. So that's going to be something, interesting, and see what is going to happen. I'm trying to see if there's a better tracker just to see where specific guys went, because I see one right here just saying, okay, let's see. So we get, let's see, this is the 21-22, so let's see, let me go here. Okay, so this is a good free agent tracker, hopefully. So, okay. So we got, of course, Max Scherzer with the Mets. You got Cory Solaire with the Rangers, Marcus Semien with the Rangers, Justin Verlander back to the Astros, Stroman with the Cubs, Baez with the Tigers, Robbie Ray with the Mariners, Gausman with the Blue Jays, Rodon with the Giants, Syndergaard with the Angels, Charlie Morton is back with the Braves, Starling Marte with the Mets, Brandon Belt back with the Giants. Of course, Wainwright's going to go back to the Cardinals. Eduardo Rodriguez went to the Tigers. Chris Taylor went back to the Dodgers. Nelson Cruz signed with the Astros. Let's see, John Gray went to the Rangers. Avisail Garcia went to the Marlins. Mark Canha went to the Mets. Alex Wood went to the Giants. Anthony DeSclafani signed back with the Giants. Kikuchi went to the Blue Jays. Steven Matz went to the Cardinals. Eduardo Escobar went to the Mets. Corey Knebel, the Phillies signed him. James Paxton went to the Boston Red Sox. Aaron Luke went to the Angels. Joe Kelly went to the White Sox. Hector Neris with the Astros. Corey Kluber went to the Rays. Who else? Anyone else? Bryant Ham with the Phillies. Familia with the Phillies. Who else? Josh Harrison went to the White Sox. Rich Hill went to the Red Sox. Kirby Yates went to the Braves. I did not even realize that. Michael Taylor went to the Royals. Ian Kennedy signed with the Diamondbacks. That's interesting. Andrelton Simmons signed with the Cubs. Cesar Hernandez went to the Nationals. So that's interesting. Wang Hyun Kim, he's still waiting to sign. So that's going to be interesting to see what team he goes to. I know he's one of the next stars to come out of Japan. So I want to see where he ends up signing at. Vince Velasquez with the White Sox. That's absolutely hilarious that they're taking a bid on him. It'd be absolutely hilarious if Vince Velasquez turns into a freaking all-star pitcher with the White Sox. That would be hilarious. But it's not going to happen. They're going to go through the Vince Velasquez experience like we have gone through a while. But yeah, there's still so many other guys that are on the market right now. So we got Zach Greinke. He's still on the market. You got everyone just keeps saying with the Yankees right now, they're going to re-sign Brett Gardner, which would be absolutely hilarious that the Yankees always go back to signing Brett Gardner. So we got Chris Bryant on the market. Chris Archer's apparently on the market too. Tyler Clippard, Jake Arrieta. Oh God. Who else? Nick Castellanos, of course. Jose Alvarez is on the market. Starlin Castro's on the market. Gross. Chase Anderson. Gross. Get me out of here. Who else? I'm trying to see the bigger names. Apparently, it says Johnny Cueto's a free agent. That's weird. I'm trying to look at the bigger free agents on the market right now. Bigger free agents. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I'm trying to think. Anything else on Twitter right now as well? Nothing really right here. We got people apologizing to the Braves fans. You got my chat going up with the Double signing saying, oh, wow, that's way better than we thought it was. But still, at the end of the day, it's still too much for a Double Herrera. But hey, it's still $1 million. So not the biggest end of the world type of signing. So let's see. Is there anything else with free agency right now? I really just want to be on the stream to react to see if, oh yeah, Cory Solaire is still on the market too. So he could be a nice bench piece, platoon DH guy as well. Because you don't want a guy like Cory Solaire in the outfield. But hey, he's the reigning World Series MVP. He's going to make some bank somewhere. So that's going to be expected from him too. So there's a lot of things that we can expect right here. I really just want to see, I just want to see a signing happen, even though it's probably not going to happen now, and I'm getting my hopes up. It's probably not going to be till tonight through the Sixers game. And I'm just like, look, why do you have to sign now? I'm watching the Sixers play. I'm watching Joel Embiid go up against Jokic. I'm watching two MVPs going up against each other. Like Phillies, you got to sign someone now. Seriously. But yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just really, really waiting right here for something to happen. Really am. Phillies. I'm trying to like I also see Zach Ertz signed back with the Cardinals in Arizona, so that's good signing for him. But this is not football. Man, just waiting. I want to get your guys' thoughts, just like everything, and like keep the live chat going. I know there's like only one person in here right now, so that lone person that's in the live chat right now, whether you're a Phillies fan or not, just like share your thoughts right here in the live chat. Like, what do you think the Phillies should do for the free agency market right now with these big fishes that are still here? And there's also some news about, with Fernando Tatis. He's going to be out for a couple months because he had surgery. So I was like, wow. Because you knew with the lockout, like a lot of these injury reports were not going to happen until they agreed on the CBA, until players got to the spring training fields. So that's a big loss for the Padres, and see what's going to happen with their situation. Are they going to be on these bigger markets as well, or are they going to go after one of these big fish like a Trevor Story to replace, Tatis for that little stint? Who knows? And the same thing for the Mets. Like Pete Alonso apparently got into a very dangerous car crash, and he left fine. Like his car flipped and everything. I was just like, jeez, like what the hell is going on here? Like, bring back the lockout, just so these players can, get healthy. But hey, and prayers to Pete Alonso. Thank God he's all right. And honestly, after I see something like that, I think Pete Alonso is going to give all of everything he has for, surviving the car crash and everything. I honestly bank on Pete Alonso winning the MVP this year. I could definitely see that happening after that situation. Like he went through a life or death scenario. He came out A-okay. And, I think he's going to, take this season to heart. And he's going to help the Mets do whatever they can. So definitely watch out for that type of scenario. But yeah, still waiting to see. Okay. John Heyman just tweeted right here saying there's believed there's not a deal right yet with Freddie Freeman with the Dodgers, and with the incumbent Braves presumed out now, there has to be hope among the thought to be long shots, including the Yankees and the Rays. Other teams that could make sense would be the Cubs and the Red Sox. Oh my God. Yeah, who knows how long this crap is going to last for. Like, I just want some signings to happen. I want some big signings to happen, my guy. Like, come on. I want to see some big signings. I want to see Freddie Freeman sign. I want to see the Phillies land one of these big fishes. I want to see guys like Trevor Story sign somewhere. I want these big signings to happen. Like, honestly, this feels like it's the freaking, the Bryce Harper and the Manny Machado saga, where those signings didn't happen until February. Or what was it, January, or was it February? I think Machado signed first, and I think that was in January. And Harper didn't sign until like weeks after with the Phillies in February. I remember that because I was still in college at that point. I was waiting, like, if you are from Philadelphia and Temple University, or have gone to Temple University, like, like the media and communications area, like the Klein Hall, that's where basically it was, just sitting and like waiting to do something for Owl Sports. And I was like waiting for my camera guy to get there before we left. And then I was just basically scrolling through my computer, and then I saw Bryce Harper sign, and I was like ecstatic for that entire day, like doing the interview and all that crap. But yeah, it's just right now, hopefully it doesn't turn out to be, these guys take forever to sign, but, who knows how long with free agency and MLB. Who knows how long. But yeah, I'm just waiting for all these guys to sign. And like, I'm debating on ending the stream right now, maybe go like another couple of 15 minutes or something like that, maybe go like a full hour. But like, I know as soon as I like end the stream, that's when something's going to happen. I'll be like, fuck, why'd I end it? But you never know. You never know what is going to happen. Anything here, any news-wise with baseball? Any news-wise? Let's see. I see something talking about Suzuki, so what's happening? Outfielders, okay, he hasn't been inside. I don't know why people are talking about Suzuki then, if he's not been signed yet. That's weird. But you never know. But Yeah, I think I don't see anyone in the live chat right now, so I think this would be a good time to end this little bit of a hangout stream. So thank you to the people that did join up the live stream. Hopefully the Phillies do make a signing tonight, or whether in the next couple of days or so. Then we'll definitely have some updates right there. We got Sixers tonight versus the Denver Nuggets, so you're going to have a recap after that. So like I said, thank you everyone for joining the stream. Stay tuned to everything that's going to happen tonight in the upcoming days with the Phillies and stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer and Pod merch website, all the flyers Nitty Gritty. All that stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button, and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. And I will see you next time, guys. Thank you for hanging out.